That's bad.
A little bit of freezing rain. That ain't gonna stop us though. We got some work to do. I'm gonna try and get the wastegates welded up on Jack today. Got a couple of these. They're just some cheapo eBay ones. Had pretty good success with them so far. I've used this style on a few different cars and they've always worked pretty well. I will say that if you're gonna use these, when you get them, pull them apart to check that the diaphragm's good and pull one of the springs out, because usually they'll have two packed in here. And unless you want to see an outrageous amount of boost, I'd say put the softer spring in there. So just going to try to find a couple spots. This one should be pretty easy. It'll just be, oh my gosh, well, I say it'll be easy. I'm going to try and do anything with my left hand. It'll just be, you know, kind of like that, give or take. Not exactly like that, but in that neighborhood. Have to reroute this hose, and definitely going to have to make a screamer pipe for this thing. But yeah, that side, fairly easy, pretty straightforward. Can just go like straight off the elbow there. This side, a little bit more complex. I might have to put it kind of down like this, I think. I don't know how well you can see that because I can't see it at all, but maybe ones of them's like that. Now we obviously want really good wastegate priority so that we can control the boost really well. The exhaust has to make a pretty hard 90 up to the turbo, so anything less than a 90 theoretically should have a better gate priority, but you know, we're kind of just limited on whatever we can do with space and things like that. This one should be pretty easy. This is the deal we got to weld here. It'll be about like that. I'd like to angle it up just a skosh just to make sure it's going to clear everything, because this hose I can obviously shorten and move, and I don't think I'll have to put any extension pipe in there. I should be able to weld that right to the housing. I don't think we can go down with it. That way they match. I don't think we can do that, but hey, now's the time to give it a try. Maybe we could. We could probably go down. And still on a skosh of an angle that it should have not awful flow into it. And then it at least kind of matches the other side. Actually, yeah, I might do that. I kind of dig that. I think that's what we'll do. And it looks like it clears pretty much everything. I think that's our plan. So now I've got to figure out how to get these taped with some PET tape. And you know, I'm a little bit of a scumbag. So since these welds theoretically are going to be fairly hidden, not hidden. Hidden's not the right word, but just not easy to see. They're going to be on the underside of everything. That's what I was trying to think of. I might get it tacked up and then just MIG weld it, because there's going to be some gaps around like the edges of things. Just the nature of a flat plane on an angled plane. So I might do that just to make this thing go real quick and just hole saw out the center, and wastegates are done. So before I get sidetracked anymore and waste any more time, I'm going to try to get this stuff kind of mocked up in place, see if I can get them knocked out real quick. got them both tacked in place. They're inadvertently on about the same angle, so that's nice, because right after I tacked this one, I was like, man, if I had brought it out a little bit more this way, it'd probably be perfect. But looking at that one, they're virtually identical, so sweet. Now I get to pull this all apart and take it over to the bench. I'm gonna weld around the perimeter, and I know there's probably a couple people who are like, man, you forgot to cut the holes. Well, the way I like to do it, the way I think is so much easier, is get it welded on there first and then take a hole saw through the center and get that baby perfect. Because a lot of times when you cut the hole, welding close to edges, it'll kind of want to pull apart. It's more of a pain in the ass, I think, than just welding it on there and then blipping the hole out real quick. So I'm gonna pull all this apart. Luckily it's still kind of in the mock-up phase, so just gotta drop the exhaust, pull this off, V-band, a couple bolts for the turbo, and we're good to go. Alright, got the wastegate flanges welded on, and it actually welded a lot better than I expected, considering they're both cheap Chinese things that I didn't even bother cleaning before I welded. The beauty of MIG welders, welded pretty good. I'm not going to show you the other side. The other side had a huge gap that looks disgusting. Kind of same deal with this one. Welded pretty good on this side. Other side had an enormous Grand Canyon of a gap that I filled. I'm confident it won't leak or crack or anything like that, but it's definitely not winning any beauty awards. But luckily this is one of those times that it's all hopefully hidden and it's just function over form. So I need to get a 1.5" hole saw. I have an 1 5/8 that I could force through there, but I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just get the right one. And then I gotta punch those holes out. I swore I had an 1.5", but all I can find is 1 5/8. So I'll get those holes punched out, and then we can put that all back together, permanently bolt up the turbos, and boom, good to go. All right, Pop's just dropped off 1.5" hole saw, and I'm used to, ones like that, where it's just a hole saw screwed onto a little fitting, chuck it up in the drill, good to go. Apparently our hardware store is switching all to these, which is a pretty slick setup, where you just put that in the drill and see if I can do this one-handed. There, it just like quick releases on. So now we're all set. That's pretty sweet. Gonna have to start buying a bunch of these ones, because a lot of mine are getting pretty worn out anyway. Actually, this did come with a couple pieces to screw into it, so that's pretty handy. But yeah, I thought that was pretty slick. All right, let's get these holes punched out. All right, got the center of that punched out. Hopefully you might be able to see in there. Looks pretty good. Got the gate affixed to our elbow. So now I want to pull the top off and take a look at the springs and diaphragm.
Stay. Stay. Loosen. Stay. Stay. Alright, pull these ones out. And we'll work it from each side. Oh, that's what I was trying to avoid. Hopefully you can see. Oh, there's some spring pressure in here. Oh my god. Holy. Oh, there's just one big ass spring in there.
God, that's a heavy spring. Diaphragm looks all good though. A lot of times when you pull them apart, they'll get all flipped around and stuff and be stupid. So if you don't know how a wastegate works, basically exhaust pressure comes in here and it tries to push this up. So this spring will help keep it closed to a certain boost pressure basically. And there's different ways to manipulate that with vacuum, boost controllers, things like that. But yeah, this thing looks like it sits right in that groove perfectly. I would like to find like a 5-pound spring, give or take, to put in there, because with our 4-port boost controller, we can take a 5-pound spring all the way up to like, I think 35 pounds, something like that. Got this one all together too. This is the passenger side. And it actually, I don't know how well you can tell, but it kind of like lips up towards the end here. Trying to show you with like the camera movements. So it should catch a pretty good amount of the exhaust flow. And I did mark this so that I know which way is up. So it'll fit just like that. I can get these bolted down, got that side sitting in place, and then start putting it all back together. And I'm pretty sure our charge pipe injector showed up today. I think that's out in my mailbox. And I think something for the Fiero showed up today. So if I ordered something kind of to test, so I'm gonna get all this back together, actually try to put, oh, I don't have all 4 bolts. Shoot, that's right. Well, I can put the harder bolts to get to in the turbos. I gotta put the drains on them and get those all in place. Get everything kind of back where it needs to be. See how we're looking. Got one turbo back on, bolted up, just 2 bolts for right now. That's all I got. These take a different thread than what I've got. These inside ones, I might have to stud it and put a nut on or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, got this side all bolted on. Wastegate clears the radiator hose. Should clear the charge pipe, which fell down. Wonderful. I don't have this side on yet because I need to drill and tap this for the boost reference line. So I got to pull that off. And I thought I had another T4 gasket laying around, but I must have used it on something, or lost it, or threw it away or something, because I can't find it. And because there's always another thing, these drain flanges are way too close to the compressor housing. So, not entirely sure what I want to do about that yet. I think might have to get like the extended ones, or might be able to shave, because I don't think I'll have to shave down a bunch. I think if I shave these corners down a little bit, because like it wants to clear, but it just can't. Like it wants to start, but these stick out just a little too far. So I might, just for the sake of saving money, try and trim these down a skosh. I'll have to do it for that one over there too. I think the smarter thing to do would be to get, they sell some of these that are like 1 inch out, 2 inch out. So I think getting one of those would be the smarter thing. But since when are we smart around here? But got the wastegates on. Just have to throw this thing back together. At this point, there's really no more fab work. We just have to, you know, put the puzzle back together, and this thing's ready to rip. So I know that this was a little bit of a nothing burger video. Basically just put wastegates on the truck, but something that had to happen. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell to get the notification. If you need anything from Snake Eater Performance, use code SNYDERTRON for 10% off your order. If you want any merch, there's a bunch of new stuff on the Teespring store. Should be first link in the description below. And I'll see you guys later.